You're kidding. Oh my goodness, my gun has done it again! My gun was locked onto the arse end of his tank. I pull the trigger and it goes way off to the left.
Oh.
For goodness sake.
Enemy's got us in their sights.
No! God, please, no! No!
Yeah, that's what you get for playing sneaky with me. Hello everyone! Well, I am now the proud owner of a 3-marked VK3001H, and I wanted to make this video to discuss my thoughts on the whole 3-marking process. The game you're seeing here isn't actually the one where I achieved the 3-mark, but I think I achieved it 1 or 2 games after this one. The exact game escapes me right now, but it was close. So, here we are. At the end of the 3-marking road, looking back. I am really quite pleased with myself over this because while I did intentionally pick the VK30 as a possible 3-marker, I never actually thought I would do it. I got to 85%, which is the 2-mark, and that was my first ever 2-mark. And at that point I thought, right, I've hit the tanker's wall. You know, this is as good as I'm ever going to get in this vehicle, so I decided to just put the tank aside for a few months, grind other vehicles, and you know, just come back to it at another date where I felt like I could actually make progress on it, because I didn't want to ruin my first ever 2-mark. In the few months where I put the tank aside, I had the discussion and made the 2-part video with BCFC Red Army. If you haven't watched those videos, I would really encourage you to do so. I'm fairly confident, well, I think I can say with confidence that my 3-mark is as a result of learning from that conversation with BCFC. Now, I'm going to state something that I now believe to be true, so brace yourselves for this one. Anyone can 3-mark a tank. All you need to do is be prepared to change your approach to the game when you think you've hit the tanker's wall. It's like anything else. You can achieve anything if you're prepared to make the necessary changes. Now, this is a tanking video. It's not a motivational speech, but that is something that I see to be true. In my conversation with BCFC Red Army, he stated that getting any advantage you can in game will make a difference. I made a change in my gameplay, and you can actually see it on screen now. I'm using the compass. Now you might ask, well, how does that help? Well, there are 2 aspects to this that I have noticed. Not seeing everything means I'm more focused on my immediate surroundings, and I am less distracted by other players. Here's an example for you, but unfortunately I don't have the footage. I didn't think to record it at the time. Looking back, I should have done because it's a great example, but I'll have to describe it anyway. So, Prokhorovka, south spawn, and I'm in the dip just to the left of the tracks. Enemy medium is spotted by our guys on the hill to the far right side. He's spotted moving south along the right side of the tracks. Using the compass, I was more aware of my proximity detection circle, so I manoeuvred to the left to avoid detection from the right. Once he'd gone far enough to the right, I popped over the tracks and shot him in his arse end, and got the kill. The level of awareness I had in this scenario is not something I've experienced when I was using the minimap. Now that is not to say that the minimap is not needed, it most certainly is. Using the compass does mean that you need to check the map to know what's going on, and that's just a habit that needs to develop. But using the compass has meant that I can't see the distractions, and by distractions I mean looking at the map and thinking, why are you all going that way, that kind of thing. And the other distraction is always dead dipshits telling you that you should go drown yourself because you didn't play the game the same way they did. All of these things break concentration, and that leads me to my next point. You have to concentrate on everything that's going on around you to get the maximum out of each and every game. And you know, things that I was doing as an example were check the team list at the start of the game. If there's artillery, watch for their shots. Move when you know they're looking elsewhere or reloading. Make a point out of shooting from cover. Find a fire position that RT can't reach. Don't put yourself in vulnerable positions like driving into the middle of a field. Just don't do that. If you're in a situation where you can't get direct fire damage, go for spotting assist, because that does all count towards your damage standing. And read the entire minimap occasionally, you know, check the team list in the middle of a game, but remain 100% focused of your immediate surroundings so that you can take control of the situation around you the best way you know how. And these are all changes that you as a guy or a gal playing, you know, these are things you can do just by holding the controller. You know, this isn't even talking about the tank yet. This is just you and your input to the game. This is how I think you can step up your gameplay, and we've not even talked about a tank yet. Speaking of tanks, on this one, on the VK, I was running a full gold ammo loadout, and in hindsight I probably should have had some high explosive in there, but you know, that's, you know, hindsight's 2020 and all that. Side note, on high explosive, the SU-130 Russian tier 8 is everywhere. Everyone's got one. If you load HE, those suckers will disappear faster than a fart in a fan factory. Right, back on topic. I was running a full gold loadout, but that didn't mean that every shot penned, and it also meant that I lost silver most of the time. So if you want to run that kind of loadout, you're going to need some money in the bank to dig into should you have a bad game. Just because I was firing gold didn't mean that every shot was a pen. You still need to learn the weak spots of the vehicles you're coming up against, and that, generally speaking, that comes with time playing the game, getting used to it. The more you play, the more you get used to the game, and the more experience you get. As far as consumables went, I had one small repair kit, chocolate, and one small med kit. With my damage standing, I had 2 repair kits up until about 88%, and that's when I switched for the chocolate. My crew wasn't really anything to shout about. I only had 2 skills for the duration of getting the 3 mark, and those 2 skills were Sixth Sense and Brothers in Arms. A more highly skilled crew would certainly have made the process easier, but for some reason I wasn't even paying attention to what skills my crew had. I don't know why, it skipped my mind. So, that is my overview on what I did to earn the 3 mark on the VK3001H. If you have other thoughts or suggestions on how to 3 mark tanks, then please comment down below. The VK30 is a tier 5, so it's the lowest of the vehicles. It's the lowest of the tiers that you can 3 mark or mark at all. So yeah, again, if you've got any new thoughts, new ideas, suggestions, what have you, let me know down below so others can take on what you have to say. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope you're all keeping safe, and I will see you on the battlefield.